Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk about the fact that after 35 years of drinking diet soda, I've finally given it up. I started drinking diet soda around the same time in my life that I started restricting my eating, restricting my calories. So around the age of 13 or 14, I switched from regular soda to diet soda. I did that because I thought that calories were what mattered, and I thought that I was getting fat, and I started restricting my calories. I went through years and years of restricting calories and then binging and then restricting and then binging. And I did that almost my whole life until the age of 47 when I found the keto and then carnivore diet. I remember back then when I started that my dad drank diet soda. So it was easy for me to just grab his diet soda and do that instead and leave the full sugar stuff for my brothers. And I thought that I was doing a good thing, right? At the time, that was better. Of course, it very quickly became a tool to keep me feeling full. So I would do that when I was low energy. There's the caffeine in there. I definitely started drinking diet soda before I started drinking coffee by several years. And also to make my stomach feel full so that I wouldn't eat. And I thought this was a good thing, right? Because no calories, right? And it was just like I was fully indoctrinated into the calories in, calories out model and thinking if I just kept my calories under control, I could be skinny. I could stay skinny. I could lose the fat on my thighs. That's where my stubborn fat likes to hang out. And I didn't like it. And so, yeah, diet soda was one of the things that I did to restrict, keep my calories low, and to try to lose weight. And I kept that diet soda in my life from the age of 13 or 14 all the way up until about 3 weeks ago. So when I started the carnivore diet in June of 2023, so last June, it's been a little over a year now, I will say that I did reduce my diet soda. So I was that person that would drink 4 to 6 diet sodas a day. And you know that can't be good for you, right? The ingredient list is nothing but a bunch of chemicals. And so I did reduce down. At first it was maybe 1 per day, and then it was 1 every 2 or 3 days, or it was maybe when I went out to eat, something like that. But I never completely cut it out. There was always some in my fridge. But one of the things I noticed when going carnivore, one of the really awesome things was that when it came to food, I used to have cravings for certain food. Like even when I was keto, I would still crave the keto treats, the little sweet things, the little cheesecakes and things like that. I would crave them. And if I ate one, then I would want more. And so sometimes I'd have more, right? And then nuts, like the nuts, mostly pecans. If I got started on those, yeah, 1 handful or 1 serving of pecans became multiple. So I still struggled with those type of cravings. So even though I had gotten rid of the processed food and I wasn't overindulging on the ultra processed things like the chips and popcorn, and when I say popcorn, I'm talking about the microwave popcorn, all full of chemicals. Yeah, all of that stuff went away, but I would still have my moments of craving foods and then going to eat those foods even though they were keto friendly, but definitely overdoing it, not being able to have that off switch. And when I went carnivore, I noticed that all of that stopped. Like there were nuts in my cupboard, pecans, a big thing of pecans that I had purchased, and no one else ate them in my house, and they just sat there and sat there and sat there. I knew they were there. They used to call to me from there, and I would go and get them. And they just were there, and I didn't want them, and I didn't eat them. So in general, my craving for things went away. And then when I was hungry, I would just eat meat, and that's how I still am today, right? I get hungry, I go eat some meat or some eggs. And when I'm full, I stop. And I don't have cravings in between for other things. I don't want sweets anymore. or nuts or anything like that. So like I said, I had reduced, the diet soda way down, but kind of knowing in the back of my mind, of course I need to get rid of it for my own health because, as I've already said, it's a laundry list of chemicals. It can't be good for me. And also I've learned a lot about big food and their role in all of what's going on with the ultra processed foods. And so if I'm giving my money to Coca-Cola or Pepsi or any of those big food companies, like I kind of feel bad about doing that. I want to vote with my dollar in a positive way. For example, I recently purchased a half beef from a local farmer, right? To start encouraging my money to go into those kind of purchases and not big food kind of purchases. And so that reason was also there. Another personal health reason was the cephalic insulin response. And so I've never worn a CGM or anything like that. And I don't know if this was going on in my body, but it has been shown that as soon as a person's taste buds taste something sweet, whether it's real sugar or not, your brain doesn't know that there's all these artificial sweeteners out there. And in the past, you taste something sweet, it's going to be sugar. So as soon as that sweet thing touches your taste buds, it sends a message to your brain, sugar's coming. Your brain sends that message out. Your body makes insulin. And so obviously on a ketogenic diet or carnivore diet, you're looking to keep that insulin down. And I thought, well, maybe this cephalic insulin response is happening in me. And so that would also be another great health reason to give up that diet soda and get one more, artificial sweetener out of my life. And I didn't really come up with a date. I didn't really have a plan. I didn't really want to give it up. I mean, I wanted to give it up, right, for those reasons. But then again, it was like I was holding on to it. I was addicted to it, right? I wanted to still have it in there, and I've given up. That brain starts talking to you, that lizard brain starts talking to you and saying things like, well, I've already given up so much. Why should I have to give up this pleasurable thing that I like? And then one day it just kind of was, I still had some diet soda in the fridge, and I just started thinking about it. And I thought, I don't think I'm going to be buying any more diet soda. And so the thought just kind of came to me like, what would happen if I just didn't buy any more diet soda? I felt fine about it. I thought, okay, whatever's here, I'll just kind of drink. And then when it's gone, I'm just not going to buy anymore. And that was about 3 weeks ago. And when that thought occurred to me, it was like, I think the carnivore diet is slowly continuing to heal me, especially my brain and things, because it was like I was ready to let it go. Just like I was ready to let go the sweet treats and the pecans. It was all of a sudden, I hadn't felt ready to let go, but then I was just ready to let go. It didn't feel like it would be a struggle. The other, the angel and the devil on the shoulder, like that devil on my shoulder wasn't saying, oh, just buy one more case. Just buy one more case. You're hardly drinking any. It's okay. Like that voice did not happen. It was just, I'm not going to buy any more, and that's fine. And so about 3 weeks ago, I had my last diet soda, and I have been without diet soda now for 3 weeks. So how's it going? I am very happy to have given it up because I know all of the negative things it was doing to my body. And I'm not going to say that it's been perfect, that there's been no struggle, especially that first week. I had cravings for it, but it's not in my house. And the cravings weren't so strong that I was like, I'm going to go get some, right? The cravings weren't so strong that I'm, put myself in the car, drove to the store or drove to somewhere, the gas station or the restaurant and order one. I didn't want to do that. And so because I took it out of my environment, I found that it has been relatively easy to keep it out of my body. Now that it's been 3 weeks, sometimes when I go to eat a meal, like I would usually have one with my dinner if I was going to have one. So sometimes when I go to eat my meal, I get a little sad because I'm just going to have water with that meal. But I get over it. I get over it pretty quickly. And those feelings are starting to diminish. So I know that I've done something good for my body. That keeps me going. I don't see myself going back to drinking diet soda. I think the hardest times for me are still when I go out to a restaurant. Like that little thing inside my brain says, oh, you hardly ever do this, have your diet soda. I've gone out to eat a couple of times in the last 3 weeks because there was a work function and I forget the other one, but I got together with some family and we went out to eat. And so both of those times I just had water, even though the people around me were enjoying their soda or diet soda. So I hope that this has inspired you. If you're still drinking that diet soda, I hope that someday you feel, I don't know, it was like a peace about it that came over me. I hope you feel that. I hope you can give this up. I just feel so much better that I'm not putting that into my body anymore. And let me know down in the comments if you've ever struggled drinking diet soda, because after 35 years, I can say it was a struggle for me to give up to one extent or another. And I really credit the carnivore diet with making that struggle less strugglesome. That's not a word. It reduced the level of that struggle to a place where I could give it up. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. And now it's time for me to go and meet some wellness, one less bad habit at a time. Bye, everybody.